Life can be a pinch, believe me. From navigating romantic relationships, friendships, figuring out how to use the bathroom alone for once, mommies know the deal on this, to adjusting to all those changes because of this pandemic. Sometimes you just need to catch a break, and I'm right there with you. Hi, I'm Whitney B. Rochester, and this is the She Knows It podcast, a 30-minute sit-down and unwinding session to unravel your mind and your heart. If you're new here, welcome to this judgment-free space. If you're a returning listener, thanks so much for coming back. Follow me on Instagram at sheknowsit.podcast or sending your comments, feedback, or advice questions to sheknowsitpodcast@gmail.com. Let's get into it. Gather around and get excited, She Knows fam, because today we are going to be getting in on the hardcore truths of why men cheat and why women cheat. And the motivation behind this topic is the fact that I was going through Instagram. You all know how I love Instagram. I was going through my Instagram the other day and I saw a post that said, men cheat because they are horny and women cheat because they are unhappy. And I said, there is so much truth to this one statement here, and there are a lot of gems that I would love to share with you guys today about the same topic of cheating. Is it that men are guided by, their penises, or is it that, what's the motivation? And I am super excited to be talking with a very, very good friend of mine for long now, for a while now, who is the mastermind behind JR Freelancing on Instagram, which is a social media management agency that deals with assisting small businesses to overcome challenges in social media management and content creation, as well as he is, or should I say he was, a social butterfly until Miss Corona came around and changed the game. My very special guest today is Jermaine Reynolds, and listen, I had to get Jermaine to talk with us today because he is so instrumental to a lot of the posts that I make on my Insta and my WhatsApp for those who follow me through those channels, because, we talk all the time about, how do people really relate to each other in relationships as well as on a platonic level, and he has a lot of, he has a lot of controversial thoughts, and I also have a lot of controversial thoughts that sort of rub in opposite ways. So let's talk to Jermaine today and find out why men cheat. Hi Jermaine.
Hey Whitney, how you doing?
I'm great. First of all, Jermaine, I am very happy that you are here and that you are talking with me because you are so controversial, and sometimes I have to wonder where you get them thoughts here from. But I think it's so necessary that females hear the truth, even though we don't really like hearing the truth all the time. It's very good that we can hear it, and I wouldn't be happier to hear it from anybody else. So, welcome to our show.
I feel like somebody seen that me go up on somebody podcast so me.
Before we get into the niceness though, let's play a game of Fast Five. And because you're into social media, my first question is Instagram and Twitter or Insta and Facebook?
Insta and Facebook.
You have 2 seconds, Jermaine.
Oh
Short
my
and
I'm
bossy
sorry.
or tall and submissive?
Yes. Well on can curse.
What?
We can curse.
No. Short and bossy or tall and submissive?
Short and bossy might as well. That's a wrong pick still, but alright.
Moonlight or candlelight?
Moonlight,
Steam fish or fry fish?
fry fish,
Soca and dancehall or R&B and jazz?
soca and dancehall.
Wonderful. First of all, I am very surprised that you say short and bossy because you are
Hold on,
short.
man. I'm surprised too. But here's the
Yeah, like
problem. Me no want a woman taller than me.
But then it's
Yes.
like the bossy part is what catch me though, because
I'm
most
in a
men,
short.
let's not argue about that, all right?
I'm
Because we know
average
that
height, man.
we know the evidence.
Average height. I'm average
The
height.
bossy part is what catch me though, because most men don't like women that are dominant or domineering. They like to be the alpha male. So give me a little insight into that bossy part, because
No, but you can. But you said the thing is, you can be bossy with knowing when to be a lady and when to be submissive. It is a possibility.
I don't know. People say
Being
that.
bossy doesn't mean that you show your dick every time you talk. It simply means that there's a moment in time when you are able to look and reflect and say, this is the moment where I allow the gentleman to be the leader.
I wonder how many women
And
know
being
how to do that.
not many, unfortunately, not many women realize that you can be a strong woman without being masculine.
Right.
Many women don't know how to be strong without being a man, without
But
portraying masculine energy.
Jermaine, being strong don't necessarily mean, is it that men then are intimidated by women who are confident, because it sort of throw off a lot of people, the fact that she can be strong and independent and you know yeah, have her own, she can hold her own then, and then people sometimes get confused with the two terms, confidence and strength. Many men don't like women who are strong and confident and independent because they feel like they're taking away from their dominance and their alpha male, whatever, in the relationship, or even
And
sometimes in platonic relationships.
that's actually not true. You know. That's actually not true. No man likes a woman with low self-esteem, with low confidence,
Is
because
that so?
ultimately it means, yes, ultimately it means that it's going to be dependent on the man to constantly be reminding her that she's the one. And to be honest, when you have to constantly be boosting somebody because they're not happy with who they are as a person or with their self-esteem, it can be very much draining.
But then you
Not
see
more than a woman. Can't go ahead.
that's going to be opening a whole heap of can of worms there, because you
Yes,
find
it is.
men that are narcissistic who are actually out there, what I say now, the Pied Piper then of these relationships, who go out there seeking women who have low self-esteem. So what
You
are you
see,
saying?
a narcissist feels the need to control every aspect of a person. So being a narcissist is, if though I may be wrong, but I think that's a classification of some sort of a mental disorder. And
Mm,
how many people out there in the world are narcissists? Some may have
quite a bit.
narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, but it's still not the majority of men. It still
So
isn't the majority of men.
so in a relationship, then you know what you signed up for. You know, say, all right, you did attracted to this bee from beginning. You don't know who she's like. You don't know her personality, the friend that she hang out with, and you know right off the bat, say she's strong and independent, or she weak and submissive. She do anything where you say. So you
Mhm.
knowing this, and you say you don't want a female who doesn't know how to go between being strong and confident and bossy or domineering, then is that then a motivation for cheating? First of all, let me ask you, have you ever cheated before?
No,
No, you've never
when I'm being
cheated.
totally honest. Yeah, man, I'm being totally honest. I've had a
Hmm.
few questionable moments, but I've always been able to catch myself in the midst of it and say, hey, no,
And when we say
you don't want to
questionable
lose.
moments, when we say questionable moments, it means moments of flirting. Let's be clear, because we need to have a clear
Moments of
understanding.
flirting,
Mm,
probably even on the verge of setting a date to do something, and then you catch
meaning to
yourself
have
in the midst
sex.
of it.
Mm,
Whether I have sex, whether just a little link up, which is outside of being a friend, you know. I've been in situations like that, and I've been able to get to myself. and pull back. Can't
So
tell you
let's
can't tell you about the me now, but I can tell you that when I was much younger, it was the case. Ask me now, I don't know what I tell you what I do.
Hmm.
That's just me being honest.
But funny enough though, let's classify what cheating is first before I tell you. I think cheating is a relationship with somebody, whether it just starts or 10 years in, and you go outside to seek, what would I say now, emotional support or, putting your foot out there in the waters again to see if you still have it, which I think is an ego boosting strategy for a lot of men. We soon talk about that. Um, Sometimes I think women are emotional, and so a lot of the time when a woman goes out there to get emotional support, it's leading up to something else then, which I think automatically is sex. So cheating for me is not just the physical. I think it goes way beyond that. What do you think?
It's it's a tricky discussion and a tricky topic to explore because certain things are going to remain subjective. Now, for me, I
Mm-hmm.
guess in some sense, cheating boils down to the distance in which you're willing to go with somebody else while they're within a committed relationship.
So
However,
flirting then.
mhm,
Mm-hmm.
however, the main thing to know and to understand is this: we are human beings.
Right.
Something out there will catch your eye, whether we're male or female, right? I am of this weird view, and it's very weird. I mean, it's most men won't say this. I have this weird view that not that a man should not a man, everybody, as a matter of fact, both male and female, being human, we're bound to trip up something that will catch your eye. We're gonna like it, we will like it. How somebody may make the decision to move forward and pursue what they say, even though they're committed. For me, the whole concept of what they don't know already applies.
Hmm.
Yes. What you don't know won't hurt you. I've always
What you
established this with
saying?
anybody.
Hold on,
Yep.
ladies, are you hearing this?
What you don't
Jermaine,
know
you
can't
say what
hurt you.
you don't know. Go
It
on.
can't hurt you. Classic case in point. I'm going to use myself as an example. In a relationship, however, something catches your eye on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether you intentionally pursue or don't pursue, you handle your business, you do what you have to do, you come back home to your person, nobody is the wiser. Does it affect the relationship?
Of course it does because you must have a
N-
conscience.
Nothing is shortchanged. Whatever time nothing is missing from the relationship. Whatever time
So
you
okay, so
spend
if it's
remains.
not going to take away anything, Jermaine, then what's the
Mhm.
point of you doing it? That is what I'm
Alright.
trying to get at. What's the motivation behind cheating? Because first of all,
There's
for
several
me, like
motivations.
you, okay.
For me, like you, go ahead.
For me, like you, I've never cheated before either. And to me, I've just always had this thing in my mind where if I am unhappy, then I will leave. There is no point
Mhm.
in me staying in a relationship that I'm not being satisfied, first of all, sexually.
But
If I'm in a relationship that there's no emotional connection, or me feel like, say, I'm lacking in something, obviously, I'm going to seek it elsewhere. But if I go elsewhere, then what's the point if I'm going to go back into the misery? So is either I'm
there's a,
unhappy and leave. Mm-hmm.
there's a slight difference with how men react versus with how females react. A
Right,
female will react
naturally.
by the female reacts based off emotion. Yes, you have one and two who use logic, but generally women are emotion use emotion. So when a woman cheats, she cheats with somebody based on her emotion, somebody who she like. A
Right.
man can. Not saying that all a man can cheat or can go outside of his relationship while still being totally and completely in love.
Go out and cheat and still be totally and completely invested into the person that they are with.
Yeah, they can.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they can. They can totally do that. It's a no-brainer because we have the ability to keep our emotions and prioritize it to who one really and truly mean to us.
So that means then that you have the restless dick syndrome then because your penis can't stay in your pants.
No,
And it gives credence
we
then
never
to
said that is every woman who come we will go after. That's not reckless. Not every man willingly gets up or at any one point says as soon as a girl come across I take advantage. No. There's some of us who sit down
to believe.
and weigh the necessary pros and cons.
So you actually put thought and energy into all right,
Yeah,
me there with Tanya and but Stacey look good and round, so I go after Stacey. So it's premeditated then is what you're saying.
yeah,
You put thought into it.
yeah. Because
Men are
you see,
evil.
no,
Some
we're
of
not
them are.
evil. We're not evil. You see, one of the things that we fail to remember and we fail to understand, monogamy has only become a thing in modern history.
Mm.
Modern history is when this whole idea of monogamy came into being. If you should remember, well, I'm not really a Bible fanatic, but if you remember in the Bible, one of them and in several concubines.
Yes,
However,
but
there
that
was
so
one
wait then so you're
queen.
using that to
No, that's
justify
not that.
then the fact that
No,
when you can't be satisfied with one somebody.
no.
Cause all when the woman pretty, she intelligent, she get freaky on Saturday and then praise Jesus on Sunday, balances you financially and it's spontaneous. She still get cheated on, and you're saying now that because King Solomon was actively in polygamous relations, even in some parts of Africa, it's the same thing. It's
Hmm.
okay then now for men to even married men in committed relationships to decide that all right, I'm gonna get up and I'm going to go out on my commitment to this person.
So let me ask you this question. For the Muslim societies, in some countries in the Middle East where the Muslim men take on several wives, and for the African countries where
Mm.
tribes in Africa take on several wives, is it that these men are reckless and what do you call it, can't keep themselves together?
Men are men irrespective of religion or
Mhm.
nationality. The
That's one
base
school of
of
thought.
it, the base of it though, as I'm saying, is that there a thing where it's
Or is it just a
thinking that
shift
you
in
are
culture
lacking.
or
Perhaps it's a shift
brainwashing?
in culture. Or I wouldn't say brainwashing, I'd say men, as I said, cannot be satisfied. Some of them, because you actually have good, faithful men out there,
No,
right?
you
Who
see,
know how
one of
to
the things that I always ask this question, because a man goes out and he dabble, does that? How does it? And the wife don't. How it make him a bad man? Kids are taken care of. Whenever there's time to be spent at home, he spends it and he spends it well. Wife is taken care of. Nothing is shortchanged.
so
Nothing is
it,
shortchanged.
so it's fine for you to just go out there and try new things with different people then. Case
Um,
in point,
mhm.
case in point, the policeman who was, doing the do on camera.
Allegedly,
I-
we have no proof that it was not his girlfriend. We have no proof that it was his wife.
First of all, he was married, alleged, because the ring was there, big and bold into the camera. All right,
Yes,
so
but
when it's safe,
nobody knows. But we're going to be legal here. We're going to be legal here. Me no want them come sue you. Yeah, my friend.
right?
We not no proof to certain of the allegations. It's just
Mm,
allegations. So allegedly.
okay, allegedly.
Hmm. You want me to be honest about that situation?
Yeah, tell me,
You
because
know what his mistake was?
if
It,
I was his wife, I would be so embarrassed because first of all, you see, and that's the thing, Jermaine.
and that's my problem. That is my issue. The issue is he got caught.
So if him never get catch, it would have be alright.
If him never get catch, the world would not know. His wife would not have been aware. All his world would not have been upheaved. He would not suffer whatever embarrassment that came as a result of it.
But the fact is that we saw it, we know, we understand that
Yes,
and this happened. And
yes.
as I was saying, the hottest part of it is many men, many men. I'm not going to broad brush everybody because not everybody do it.
Hmm.
Many men do not do some of these things with their wives or them committed girlfriends, and then them go outside to doing that. How
See
can you be
that no, me personally, me can agree with it. That's so me have a problem with that.
right?
There's no, I'm of the honest belief that there's no way, shape, or form that the woman outside should be getting better treatment, quote unquote, than what is happening at home. That is where disrespect creeps in.
It's disrespectful regardless.
Well, it is more, if you are, I'm not going to disagree there, but it is more disrespectful when the woman on the outside is benefiting, if we are going to use the word more, than that of the wife at home. Because why?
Gotcha.
It leads, because the woman are going to know what is happening at home, that are the woman outside,
Mm-hmm.
and they may want to step out of bounds and feel the need to become disrespectful. And
Yeah,
that is
cards
where
are
it
played.
has to be exactly, and that is what you don't want. So I have this is which is why I always say this. For the latest set of relationships I've been since I've been more mature and I've thought about a lot of things. I
Mm-hmm.
say this to all the ladies who have been involved with. We're both human beings.
Right.
Something may catch your eye,
Mm-hmm.
and we may slip, right?
Right.
Don't disrespect me. Don't flaunt it in my face, which is disrespect. Don't care nothing come give me. And don't sacrifice my time.
I'm honestly shocked.
I say this to every woman. Because at the end of the day, we need to understand that some things are just more important than just than somebody sleeping. Because I always say this. I personally won't intentionally fall into that category. Me not gonna intentionally go out and say, me like that one and me go look that one. No. However, something may just catch my eye.
So
And it
you're
may
saying,
be a way where I don't need to go out of my way to do whatever. Me a human being. I'm not going to hide behind the fact that I'm a human being. I'm
okay,
not going to profess to any woman that look, me promise to say me gonna be 100% faithful. No, I'm
and it doesn't
human.
change the game if you are married or in a committed
Whether I'm
relationship.
married, whether I'm in a committed relationship, I say it, I stand the same. You know why?
Tell me.
I can talk from personal experience. One relationship which I consider to be very serious. I was cheated on. Young and dumb and nonsense and timeless and everything be blatant in front of my face, but you fool. You know what became a problem to me was when I was allowed the man was allowed to disrespect me.
Oh, so it was
And
no,
I'm knowing that I'm being disrespectful because it's been done in front of my face.
mm-hmm.
That's when everything became a full on problem. Come Matthew, I knew that something was happening. I suspected strongly that something was happening.
Right.
But I brushed it aside. When it became an issue was when I was being disrespected.
Well, you see, Jermaine, it's interesting because many men don't hold the same ideology as you do,
They
where
hold the
you think,
ideology, but they just don't talk it out.
But the funny thing is, it's you're saying don't flaunt it in your face, but then you have most men who believe that okay, me know and mega kill her or mega be violent towards her.
Because at
So
some point in time, and I'm not victim blaming anybody,
mm,
but at some point in time, they felt that they were disrespected. Because imagine, think about it. You're at home. We're going to use a female's perspective. You
right.
come home to find your husband in bed with another woman, slinging that pipe on you, on her. What you gonna do? You're not gonna sit and dark and fool and
I'm
not
mad
think
still
that.
in the place.
You're gonna mad.
Boy.
It's the same thing. I just saw the disrespect then. You carry them come in your yard. So imagine now, me as a man, the bed me sleep on, the pillow me lay down on, me come home come find you. All well and done, I collect some storming. Chances are the man are bigger than me. Me go vex. You see, that's why I have a policy.
Hmm.
If I'm going over to anybody's yard, me announce my presence. Me not surprising nobody. Why? Make the man finish doing mado and leave. So,
So hold on. Big and serious though.
mm-hmm.
So it's better than that it's not in your face, it's not in your dwelling.
Yes.
So okay, so all right then. So women you're saying should hold the same thought then that as long as it's not in their face then it's good.
Well,
So you're
everybody is different, and I'm just stating my personal philosophy.
mm, just want to be clear that that's what
My
you're saying.
personal philosophy. Don't
Mm,
disrespect me, because we're human beings. I can't deny that fact. One, especially if on the man side of things,
yeah.
we aren't based solely off monogamy. Monogamy is a new age idea that some of us are still figuring out.
So you're supposed to mix then because we can't be polygamous in Jamaica
No, not really.
legally.
No,
Mm,
no, no. I honestly believe that certain things become stressful after a while. Me
yeah.
not like stress. One thing I like is peace of mind. The minute I feel my peace of mind being compromised, anything comes into play. So if I have a woman at home and let's say whatever I'm not getting at home, I find it on the road. The minute my peace of mind is being challenged by somebody on the road, turn it on this.
I think that's very unfair though.
Why? How is it
Because
unfair?
many men want the women that they're committed to be faithful to them, but then they don't want to reciprocate the same courtesy. And I deliberately use the word courtesy because many men don't know um how to as a treat a female. You want you or should I say respect then. You don't reciprocate respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's courteous, we call it now, courteous thing to do. So you have a woman and
Mm-hmm.
you don't want she cheat on you because if you ever find out she cheat on you, a mad thing. But
Mm-hmm.
then you think it's fine that you can go out, go book hotel, or you can go on flight, or you can go on vacation, or you can go sex shop with the other woman, and it's okay.
But that's
So
a
where do we then draw the line?
to be honest, that's a gentleman who honestly believes that they can control everything. I have already resigned the fact that me not have control over certain things. It's either going to happen or it's not going to happen.
It's not.
I
Mm.
experienced it. I experienced some things from early because I can tell you. When the whole issue with my relationship at the time went through, me mad pissed at the world. Oh, any woman that come back within my life, I gonna be this, I gonna be that. Them I gonna get it hard. Right. Yes, certain
Mm.
things have changed towards my view. But one of them is very much important. Bond can get anytime. I mean, can't control. The minute that when a woman gives you bond, you won't know. The minute you find out is when she no longer cares if you find out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Because we
but
know how to keep
men,
secret.
unfortunately, we tend to be sloppy because again, our ego, we're ego, we're driven by ego.
Yeah.
So ego start, yeah man, me a king, me a don, me a gallus, especially from a Jamaican perspective.
Yep.
And we end up getting sloppy with their deal. And then disrespect creeps in because I can honestly say that from what I've seen, for most women who have heard issues of with cheating and whatsoever, it only becomes a problem when they feel disrespected. That's why I said you don't know can hurt you.
Mm.
Because if a man keeps his thing in check, him not run down every woman, him not run down careless woman, he doesn't disrespect. He shortchanges nothing from the relationship,
It's
and he
fine.
comes home. The wife knows nothing. The world knows nothing either. The woman go along her life, living her life all is over the world. Look at some of these rich and powerful men. Some of them you'll never know that them have 50. The wife will never know that them have 50 million girls out the road. And some of them don't have 50 million girls and probably have a one or two. But the women that they have are kept in line and already have an understanding that look, no matter what, wife is wife. You try disrespect her, you are out of it. Because at
And
the
you
end of
see,
the day, I'm going home back to my wife and kids.
the funny thing is, we are women, and so we are emotional. And even if I've never been a side piece before, let me just declare that. But
That has been, well, I mean, I don't know, that one is complicated.
for the side piece, I think it's a new age word.
It's a
And
new
a lot
age
of
word, but the scenarios have always been the same. But
okay,
it's now a point where it is proud. You're proud to be.
yeah, a lot of women flaunt it, and that
Right,
and because they feel as though they have some sort of leverage over the wife, that the man decided to step out.
right. But you know
And
what cause all of that though?
tell us,
Feminism
Neil,
call it.
that's a whole different
What is
discussion. And we may have to do part two. We may have to do part two for
it?
that. But what I'm saying is,
Mm-hmm.
uh, what I'm saying is, women are driven naturally, I'd say, by emotions. And so for a woman
Or so
to,
they've been raised over the years.
right, so women who are acting in this capacity as side chick or the other woman or the mistress, then they feel as though, as I said, they have the leverage because the man decided that they're going to step out. And so, because they know are flaunting this supposedly leverage that they have, they go on the woman profile on Facebook or Instagram or wherever she holds her social media, and she search her out. She see if she fat or she slim. She knows who the wife is, and in many cases, them approach them. Oh, I am John Doe's um side mistress, and this is what he's been doing all this time. And it's not necessarily to expose John, but to show the wife, say, listen, you are not the only man woman in his life, and he hold better position than you, etc., etc.
And that is a man who has lost control of the entire situation.
And this is where we have to stop, Jermaine. We only have 30 minutes,
Hmm.
but we covered that based on the male perspective. And ladies that are listening, the male perspective is what we wanted to pursue for this episode. And based on what Jeremy, let me correct me if I'm wrong, but you're saying the motivation then for cheating is not necessarily sex all the time. And then what I know see, no leave, I say go,
Yeah, well, and I say out
right?
the leap, right? But there's a,
And
I
then
see, we need to do a part two on this because
we
I
have
can
to.
cite also some examples
Mm,
in which it's not necessarily because of sex that caused cheating to take place.
right.
But
So the
that's a part two.
motivation is not always, or the
Not
majority
always.
then is not always sex.
No.
And then as long as, well, from your personal point of view, it's not always it's not disrespectful. Just don't disrespect me and don't
Hmm.
flaunt it in your face.
Right.
Right? Thank you so
Me
much.
know enough people gonna hate me after this, and them a
A
go
lot of
cuss,
them probably,
and them a go on bad, and them a go
but
try
that's fine.
find me on Instagram. Yeah, man. Me know
Talking
people
about
like that.
that though, thank you so much for joining me, Jermaine. I really
Sure.
do appreciate your presence on our girl chat.
It was a pleasure.
You said Instagram.
Hmm.
Tell us a little about your JR freelancing and how we can find you for our
Uh,
content creators.
all right. JR freelancing. I do social media management. So
Mm-hmm.
that's Instagram, primarily through Instagram. But I
Right.
other areas I'm willing to definitely jump in and assist as well. So
Mm-hmm.
my business page is JR Freelancing. That's a handle. And my personal page, hold on, sometime I forget how that one they go. Mm,
And tell us how we can reach you by phone if need be.
sure, no problem. Hold on. So my personal page is underscore J Reno.
Right.
That's J N O,
Reyno.
right. And if you would like to give me a call to discuss business, da, 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 822
Mm-hmm.
8300.
Say it again.
822
Mm-hmm.
8300.
Thank
Give
you
me a
so
call,
very much.
have a
Yeah.
discussion.
Jermaine will have to do a part two.
No problem.
Um, Thank you again for joining me, and yeah, bye bye.
Sure, no problem. Thanks
All right.
again for having me.
All right. So, ladies, we have heard the male perspective, riveting truths or gems from Jermaine's perspective. Let me know what your thoughts are. Give me some feedback. Send all of the ranting and the venting to my email, she knows it podcast at gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and find the discussion right there at she knows it dot podcast. For those who are listening from YouTube, a big up to you. As well as please don't forget to like this video, share it with your female friends, as well as to subscribe and hit the notification bell because next week we are going to be exploring the bombs. All right, toxic relationships. For those who have been listening from all of the other major streaming platforms, thank you so much. Please continue to stay on the She Knows fam and always let me know. I'm open to feedback, I'm open to queries, I'm open to concerns and what we can talk about next time. Until next week, see you. Take good care.